Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Faiza, founding member of Pak SciComm. Today we are honored to have once again with us Dr. Mubashir Hussain Rehmani. He is editor in Nature Scientific Reports. In today's special session, he will tell us about how to successfully hunt for scholarships and some other peer-reviewed research grants, generally and more specifically in Ireland. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present about scholarship opportunities in Ireland. So basically, there are several opportunities of scholarship for undergraduate and postgraduate and even postdoctorate programs in Ireland. More specifically, as you can see, the first one is Government of Ireland International Education Scholarships Program. And this is one of the prestigious scholarship program where you can see 60 scholarship annually allocated for 1 year study at bachelor's, master's or PhD level. Then we have the SFI, Science Foundation Ireland Industry R&D, RD&I Fellowship Program. Again, this is allocated to those scholars who wants to pursue their higher education along with the industry. And then we have this Irish Research Council, IRC funding. They are the main funding body for PhD and postdoctorate scholarship programs, and they offer both undergraduate, postgraduate and postdoctorate scholarship. So let me just give you a brief introduction about the educational institutes paradigm in Ireland. There are around 8 universities, 14 Institute of Technologies, and several other higher educational institutes in Ireland. So I mentioned few of them. So the knowledge of these institutes and universities is necessary because when you will apply to secure for funding or for funding scholarship application, you need to contact any of the supervisor in these universities. And then you need to affiliate yourself and launch your application with any of these universities. Then we have the SFI, Science Foundation Ireland Research Centers. These research centers are specifically designed to focus on a particular research topic. For example, Connect is a SFI research center which focus on future telecommunication networks. Similarly, there are other research centers which are specifically designed to work on a specific topic. So these ranging from pharmaceutical sciences to image processing to smart dairy and big data and artificial intelligence. So if you try to get further knowledge about these research centers, you will understand that how you will affiliate yourself with any of these research centers. Now in Ireland, we have a lot of companies which are also based here. For example, Apple has a countrywide presence in Ireland as well. Google, Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, Dell, Pfizer. So all of these big companies, they have their presence in Ireland as well. And they have a very big job market in Ireland as well. Besides this, in Ireland, we have the SFI research training centers for developing PhD workforce. So these are the 6 SFI research training centers, and they are specifically designed to train PhD students. For example, I am associated with the Advanced CRT, SFI Center for Research Training in Advanced Networks for Sustainable Societies. And in this Advanced CRT, we have a consortium of universities and industry partners. And we each year we hire several PhD students and we train them, and they provide a very handsome scholarship for the completion of PhD studies. Similarly, there are other research training centers as well. For example, ML labs, which are specifically focusing on machine learning. Then we have Derail, which is focusing on digitally enhanced reality. We have Fuse, which is working on data sciences, AI, artificial intelligence, and genomics data sciences. So these are the training centers. Now, being a prospective postgraduate or postdoctorate candidate, we need to visit the website of these SFI training centers as well as universities and Institute of Technologies, because these Institute of Technologies, these research centers, these SFI training centers, they have their own funding streams as well. So when we visit their websites, we can come across other scholarship opportunities as well, which I didn't mention previously. When we think about PhD and go for PhD, we cannot fund ourselves because it's a very costly thing. So just to give you an idea, that the total funding for 4 years for a PhD program is around 1,20,000 euros, and this is around 2 crore 26 lakhs in Pakistani rupees, or you can convert in your own currency. So you can see that it's a very huge amount that they will be investing on you. And if we break down this amount annually, so it will be around 18,500 euros stipend annually. So it will become 1,540 euros per month, around 1,500 euros per month. And if you can see, in terms of Pakistani rupees, the euro is around 198, 199. So it's around 3 lakh rupees per month that you will be getting in the name of a stipend. Means this is a scholarship, and out of this 3 lakh rupees per month, you can spend it on your monthly expenses, rent, and you can also save some amount of money, 50,000 or 60,000, depending upon the way of living. So it's a very huge amount that they will be spending. And considering this amount, high level of funding, they expect quality candidates. They expect students which are highly motivated, because PhD is a long journey of 3 to 4 years, and you have to work along with your supervisor, and they need very strong candidates. Now, besides these basic funding, there are some other facilities they also provide. For example, the annual fees will be covered, which is a huge amount. So it will be automatically covered. You don't have to pay a single penny. Moreover, when you want to travel to present your work in a conference, your traveling cost, the expenses of living there to present your paper will also be covered for the duration of your PhD. Moreover, if you require any specific equipment for your experimentation, or you need definitely a laptop or a computer, it will also be covered, and you will be provided, and you will also be provided a working space as well in the lab. And if you require any specific training, for example, any software related training or any other training, they will also be providing in this PhD funding. So I just gave you an example that this PhD funding covers what aspects, and you don't have to spend a single amount of money, and it's a very competitive and very prestigious scholarship, and it's of European standard. Throughout the Europe, they are providing more or less the same amount of money. Even in some European countries, they are providing less amount of stipend. Now, I will focus on more specifically on the Government of Ireland postgraduate scholarship program. This scholarship program has been announced recently. So basically, in this particular postgraduate program, a stipend of 18,500 euros per annum will be provided to you. It means you will get more than 1,500 euros per month, and your fees will also be contributed, and you will also be eligible for direct research expenses for your traveling or for any equipment as well. So the call is open, and the application deadline will be 21st of October 2021. Now, one of the main aspect that students are missing is that they think about that since the last date is still very far, they become relaxed, and they try to react at the 11th hour, which is not a good approach. The reason for this is that, as I mentioned, it's a very prestigious scholarship, very competitive scholarship, and candidates all around the globe will be applying. So the chances of your acceptance will be very competitive. So you need to prepare your application well in advance. You need to first contact with any prospective supervisor. You need to discuss the topic. you need to prepare your application, and there is a very detailed criteria for evaluation, which I will explain at the end of this presentation, at how they will evaluate your application. So you need to react right now. The Institute of Technologies, the research centers, the universities that I mentioned previously, you need to first think what topic, on which topic you want to pursue your PhD. Then you need to look at all the available universities in this call, and then try to find a good match of supervisor which agrees to supervise you. You need to contact that supervisor, and then you will share your application, your research proposal with the research supervisor, and once he or she agrees, then you will submit your application. So it's a very 1.5 month hard working job. And even if your scholarship, if your scholarship is not successful because of the short period of time, you may try next year. Now, the funding support that they provide, basically they provide funding support for master's degree and for PhD degrees as well. And there are different types of master's degrees and PhD degrees as well. The first one is traditional master's and the traditional PhD, and the other one is structured. So the difference between traditional and structured is that structured is a more advanced, more recent sort of degree, where we have a structured way of pursuing your PhD, in which you have to take some courses and complete some credit hours. So this is the main difference. Now, there is also a postdoctorate funding opportunity under the same Irish Research Council. So in this postdoctorate, a salary of more than 38,000 in the first year will be awarded to you, and this will be increased to more than 39,000 in the second year of the award. So it's a 2-year postdoctorate funding. It's a very, very huge amount, very good amount. And they also contribute to PRSI and also direct research expenses of 5,000 euros per annum. And when you apply for postdoctorate, if you have a PhD degree, then you can also support and bring your family with you as well, because they also support in terms of there's an organization in Ireland which support postdoctorate students to bring their family as well. Now, what are the eligible higher education institutes and universities? So these are the eligible higher education institutes and universities in Ireland. So you need to look at each of these universities, in which city you want to go, in which university you want to go, and then you need to shortlist the prospective supervisors which map with your research interests. If you are working in medicine, you may go for Royal College for RCSI, University of Medicine and Health Sciences. If you want to pursue any other topic, you may select any of these universities. So the first task is to finalize your main topic, main theme, and then try to look at all of these institutes, that which one is conducting research or offering any degree in any of these institutes. And once you shortlist, then you will shortlist the supervisors, and then you will contact those supervisors. The main thing in this funding is basically the research proposal. So research proposal can be on any topic, and ranging from biological sciences to chemistry to computer science to engineering, mathematics, physics. These are the main primary areas, and I have mentioned the link over here where you can see the specific topics are also listed over there. So there's no there's no stoppage on selecting in the primary area of your research. You are free to select any of the topic, and they basically promote interdisciplinary research. So if you are combining 2 or more disciplines, your research will be interdisciplinary in nature, and they will give higher weightage to your application, and that's the thing that is required. And even if you are a female candidate, that will be also be very encouraging, and they encourage female candidates as well. And just for your information, in the past 5 years, the success rate for the postgraduate scholarship was 18%. You can imagine 18% was the acceptance rate. And for the postdoctorate program, the acceptance rate, success rate was 12%. So you can imagine it's a very competitive international scholarship offered by the government of Ireland. And the reason is that once you achieve this scholarship, you will be considered as a world-class future research leader, because they will train you, and they will be, when you pass through this PhD scholarship or postdoctorate scholarship, there will be large opportunities to acquire jobs in academia and industry as well, because you will be trained accordingly. Now, in terms of evaluation criteria for the postgraduate, before preparing your application, try to see what aspects they are looking in your application. For example, they have clearly mentioned, I'm just presenting the summary of those evaluation criteria, but on the website you can find more details over there. So first, they give marks to the applicant as well. Means they look at the track record and academic performance of the academic, what was their CGPA and what was their academic performance, whether the applicant's background is relevant to the topic on which he or she wants to work. If you are proposing a research topic which is not relevant to your background area, definitely you will not secure good marks in that. So you need to match your credentials with the research proposal as well, and you need to show that you are capable of conducting research. Your references should be of good quality, and so on and so forth. So they give 40 marks to this to the applicant. Then they give 40 marks to the project, and in the project, basically when they will be looking at your research proposal, they will see whether the project proposal has been written in a clear way, and writing is good, writing is written in a scientific way, and you have mentioned clearly the research questions, and you have mentioned the methodology, and you have mentioned how you will achieve your goals, all the typical details that are required in a project proposal. So if you just contact a prospective supervisor and say that, okay, I'm putting your name and submitting my application, for sure your application will be rejected. So you need to first decide a topic of your research proposal, and you need to go through a few iterations with the supervisor. The supervisor will read your proposal, give you feedback, you improve your proposal, and then after a few iterations, once your prospective supervisor will be happy, then you will submit your application. This will increase the chance of your acceptance and your success. Then they give 10% marks to the training and career development, how you try to achieve your training, what courses you will attend, what specific training you will attend, and also about the university. So you need to select that university which also support your research. For example, if you want to work on microbiology, so you need to associate yourself with the lab or with the university which has the necessary equipment for conducting such type of research. So these are the few evaluation criteria for the postgraduate scholarship. And for the postdoctorate, they have so for the applicant, they give 30 marks, and you can see they will see your track record, your research potential, the quality of your academic career, as well as match between applicant's profile and the proposed project. And then they give 35 marks to the project. And for the training and career development, they increase the marks to 25. And for the environment, including the university and your mentor, they give 10 marks. So you can see these are all the evaluation criteria for the postdoctorate program. Now, in terms of preparing your research proposal, I already delivered a short presentation on Pak SciComm YouTube channel with the title "How to Get into Research and Its Planning and Pathways to Research," where I mentioned how you will select your research topic, how you will write your research proposal. So all the details are mentioned on this link of the YouTube channel. So you can explore it. And just to summarize, the first thing that you need to do is to read the details, the FAQs and the application details on the website of the Irish Research Council scholarship. Once you read those details, once you understand the process, then you need to pass the eligibility quiz. The eligibility quiz will ask few questions whether you are initially eligible for this scholarship or not. And those are few very basic questions about your academic background and your eligibility. And majority of the candidates become eligible. Those are the basic requirements. Then you need to shortlist any specific university, and you need to contact the prospective supervisor. And you need to get in touch with the supervisor and finalize your proposal. And after few iterations, once your supervisor become happy, then you will submit your application. Remember that do not contact too many supervisors, because the supervisor's time is precious. So be very selective. Once you contact one supervisor, until and unless you you say him that him or her that I'm now switching to another supervisor, do not contact any other supervisor, because supervisors know each other, and it will give a very bad impression if you send the same email to several supervisors. They will then do not support. So this is all about a brief introduction about scholarship opportunities in Ireland. And if you have any question, you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful presentation. Sir, we have a few questions for you. The first question is, what type of email should we first write? As you said, you are not supposed to write the same email to all professors. So what kind of email, the first email it should be, and how we can start correspondence with the professor?
Yes, the first email should be, not a general email. First, you shortlist a supervisor, and then you look at the profile of that supervisor and see which areas he or she is working. And then you write an email in such a manner that you know in which areas the supervisor is working, or he or she is affiliated with which research institute. And then you will say that that his or her research interests are aligned with your research interests. And then you will show just your interest, that there is a Government of Ireland Research Council scholarship opportunity, and you are interested to avail it, and it requires a supervisor, and that's why you are contacting. So that should be very, very precise, very small email, not too many details. And if the supervisor replies you, then you can provide other supporting documents and may continue your conversation with him or her.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, our next question is, how an undergraduate can pursue to write his or her research proposal for MS scholarship? What are some online resources they can take help from? As we see that undergraduate programs are not mostly designed for research purposes, as many undergraduate students do not know how to proceed for that.
Yes. So for the undergraduate students who are in their last year of studies, I specifically gave this talk on this Pak SciComm forum, where I mentioned how undergraduate students can align themselves, can focus on research, and how to prepare their first research proposal, how to start actually the research. So I suggest to look at this talk, where I mentioned a few resources as well. So it will be a very good idea to look at this talk.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next question is, what is the difference between research proposal, statement of purpose, and research statement?
So research statement and research proposal, you can consider both of them more or less the same. Basically, your research statement will be a very concise document, while the research proposal will be an expanded one. So it depends upon the funding body. Each funding body have their own requirements for the research proposal. Some of them are asking for 1-page research question. Some of them are asking a more detailed 5 or 10 pages research proposal, including literature review, methodology, and so on and so forth. So more or less they are the same thing. You need to look at the funding body's guidelines for the research proposal or research statement. Now, as far as motivation letter or statement of purpose are concerned, basically in both of these letters, you need to mention precisely why you want to pursue higher studies, what are your motivation to go abroad and join any particular university. So that should be, some academic sort of motivation, not too much philosophical. You need to be very concise. What are your motivations for conducting higher education? What are your reasons for joining any particular institute or any supervisor?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Our next question is, do you think students should ask someone to review their application before final submission?
Yes, of course. As I mentioned, this is very prestigious scholarship and it requires a very strong research proposal. So you need to get in touch with the prospective supervisor. The prospective supervisor will give you feedback on your research proposal and on your application, on each and every portion of your application. And you will refine your application. And once your supervisor will be happy, then you will submit your application. So of course, you will show your application to your prospective supervisors.
And sir, what about research statement of purpose? Sorry, should we?
Yes, whether it's a statement of purpose or motivation letter, you will share it with your prospective supervisor to get his or her feedback.
Okay, sir. Sir, next question is, what are some elements of a proposal when we write for a research grant to different funding agencies?
Basically, different funding agencies have their own requirements of the research proposal. So if you look at SFI, Science Foundation Ireland funding proposals, for each call, they have a different requirement of the research proposal. If you look at the postdoctorate or postgraduate research proposal, they have their own requirements. So in general, the research proposal should contain research questions and the literature review, research methodology, your dissemination plan, and the references.
Thank you so much, sir. We are done with the questions. It's time to conclude the session. Thank you so much for your time, Jazakallah.
Thanks.